Okay, Waterloo Region market update for August of 2024. Good Lord. All right, we'll start off as usual with median prices across all property types. Not great news again this month. Prices dropping yet again month over month. That's the fourth decrease in the past 5 months. Median price was 740,000. Last year at this time we were at 750,000, which, as it turns out, was the exact same as last month. So for 1 year, we have been more or less stuck. The height so far this year was all the way back in March, where the median was 765. So we're at 750. Nice time in March. All right, we're back where we started. Average price for those keeping score at home was 782,000. Next, we have median price by category. As usual, nothing dramatic this month. Townhouses took a bit of a tumble. Single detached are up marginally. The one surprise, though, is condos held their own this month. As we've been discussing recently, the supply of condos is through the roof. And I would have expected them to have fared a little worse. So that was interesting to see. Next, let's take a look at supply, which held steady this month. So that's putting a halt this month to the record month after month levels of increases that we've seen recently. As of October 1, coming into the fall, we're sitting at 3.3 months of inventory. Not unexpected, as in the summer, we usually see a stall in new supply. So, for example, last year, coming out of the summer into September, we'd held at about 90 days. This year, we're coming into the fall and we're doing the exact same thing, only at 100 days. A lot more inventory. For context, recent average over the past 3 years, including the nuttiness of the tail end of COVID, was 1.3 months of inventory. That's kind of what we're used to. A longer view, as you guys who watch this know, is 2.5 months, which I would still, I guess, characterize as normal, certainly over my career. Either way, we have a lot of inventory, but the increases seem to have stalled. So some good news for sellers, but buyers with that much inventory, you're still in the driver's seat. Next, sales are still stagnating with 639 this month compared to last month's 673 sales. Recent average for context is 688 per month. Last year, we were at 550 at this point in time. But if you take a look at the graph, as you can see, the little humps that we see each year on the graph are progressively getting smaller or lower. So while we may be ahead of last year rather, at this exact date, it looks like it's more of a shift in where the top of the curve hits, if that makes sense. Regardless, not fantastic news here. As for showings, bit of a curbing of the good news that we had seen through most of 2024. By the way, for those of you scratching your head at this graph, the x-axis, I messed it up on the Excel file. It's reversed. So today is along the bottom on the left, not the right. I'll give you a moment. Okay. All right. Coming out of 23 and into the spring, showings had been a bit of good news. If you look at November 22 as a start of a cycle, then into November 23, we're moving left. As a start of our current cycle, things were looking good this year, but that seemed to stall in early Q2. And now we see an earlier decline in showings than we would have expected. Last month, we had 3,609 showings, while this time last year, we had 5,231 showings. Again, more great news for buyers. Sale price to list price ratio is continuing to slowly climb down. Over the past few months, it's been dropping by about a point each month, and we're now at 101%, which means we still have a very small handful of folks out there who are holding offers multiple and then getting on paper above asking. Typical, as you guys recall, 96 to 98 is what we're looking for. Just anecdotally, well, not anecdotally, I mean, this is what most people are saying is the few people out there who are still holding offers are in the more modestly priced category. So if you're at 758, 850, anything under a million, those folks are still doing the holding offers. But the good news is that is the number of instances of that are still diminishing. So hopefully, within the next handful of months, we're back to the normal way of doing real estate all the time. Finally, let's look at the long-term median price and drop our trend line. As we can see, we're still well below where we should air quote be. We talked about this last time, where this correction, which began all the way back in February of 22 and settled in December of 22, has been with us for a very long time. And it just feels off, if that makes any sense. Hopefully another rate cut in the fall and yet another month of demonstrating and showing to the buying side of the market that this is a really good time to buy. Might start pushing prices up a little bit closer to that trend line. Another point, of course, is to consider that those sellers who do not need to sell may, in fact, decide to start pulling their listings off the market or simply wait a year. That may, of course, start moving prices around a little bit too if we see a big drop in supply. In conclusion, prices are stuck, inventory is still high, and sales are slow. Great. All right. If you're buying, fantastic. And by the way, folks interested in a rental property should be seriously looking at now as a great time to buy. Sellers, advice for you is if you can hold on, then you should hold on. You wait 6 months, wait a year. We'll get out of this. As always, if you've made it this far in the video, I'd really appreciate a quick like, subscribe, takes you 2 seconds. And if you have any questions, more importantly, I'd love to hear from you. Contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.